Hi, my name is Marsha Music, and I'm here at Galerie Camille in Midtown Detroit, where there is a wonderful show taking place called Come Together, which is a celebration of music in Detroit. As a part of that celebration, I was very honored to have been asked to contribute something that was very musical, although different for me. I was asked to write the narration for an opera that was performed in a parking garage due to the pandemic. And the name of that opera was Twilight Gods, which is a short form of the original Twilight of the Gods, or Götterdämmerung, by the German composer Wagner. And I was asked and charged with creating the story in poetry of the protagonist in Twilight Gods in my own voice, which is basically Detroitese. And so I was honored to be able to have participated in this project. This is the original version. However, it had to be edited due to its length, because of the length of the opera. So this is an opportunity for me to read the entire piece, and I look forward to your enjoying it. I'd like to thank Lisa Wode, who came on board in this project. She is a magnificent floral artist, and she created this floral backdrop in order to enhance the aesthetics of my performance. So with that, I will begin to read my narration of the opera Twilight Gods that was originally performed for the Michigan Opera Theater. I thank you. Twilight Gods. I am Erda, mother of earth. I'm an oracle, a queen for what it's worth. I know past and future because I'm clairvoyant. I'm primordial, mystical, and a little flamboyant. On the banks of the river's flow, the enchanted Rhine maidens live below the straits, or some say l'heure des toits. Forgive me if I sound bourgeois. Deep down near those misting waves, the Rhine maidens live in mossy caves. They tread the waters, awake or sleep, and a magic hoard of gold they keep. Down in the marshlands and lagoons, they guard the gold in peace, but soon a loveless man comes along to steal, and that's when everything got real. For the hoard was stolen and a ring was made, and so the Rhine maidens were betrayed. Though the ring was imbued with eternal power, all who wrongly hold it will be devoured. I'm a real live goddess, a stone matriarch. Come with me now and let's embark upon this tale of love and fire, of greed and thievery and ire. A story that you'll hear them sing, the timeless fable of the ring. This is a real soap opera and very compelling. There's a method to this madness I'm storytelling, of gods and mortals in their pain and glory. So let's get to this crazy story. I have 3 daughters called the Norns. They sit weaving time all nights and morns. My Norn girls sit weaving wisdom and fate, the future of the world woven in their plates. So with their hands they are braiding hope, the whole world's destiny in strands of rope. But the day did come, time's fabric was rent, their seeing of the future was suddenly spent. The future's gone and eternity is no more a sure possibility. And only light could overcome this crepuscule, this darkened dawn. A grim, apocalyptic time. It's here that our great tale unwinds. Brunhilde, friends, is our story's grand dame, and Wotan is her father's name. He's God of all the land and sea, creator of all eternity. Brunhilde's mine too, one of my other 9, called Valkyries. Yes, they all are mine. And they all live in the palace Valhalla, where slain warriors are lauded for honor and valor. She's strong and smart behind her years, with a warrior spirit and very few fears. But she has a heart that feels for others. I should know this because I'm her mother. Now, Brunhilde is his favorite, and yes, mine too. She's a truth-telling sister, and she's tried and true. Now, Wotan has a wife. No, he's not all mine. I've been his side goddess for a very long time. He's the king of the gods, and he throws his weight. It's power that's always on his plate. He built a hall of the gods, but the cost was too great. He had to find gold to help pay the freight. It's Wotan's palace, but it also reeks. Because corruption is thick, the foundation is weak. For it's power that means everything to him. But to our daughter, it's love that wins. So with this conflict, they fell out. He banished her to a faraway rock, surrounded by a big ring of fire, asleep and waiting for the proper squire, for the only one from far and near who could cross that fire without fear and step inside that ring of flames, brave enough to get in the game. Strong and brave, and yes, get this, awaken Brunhilde with a kiss. One day he came, his name Siegfried, and he stepped inside the molten ring. And when he pierced that fiery veil, was in that moment that love prevailed. But he had to leave, he could not linger, and slipped a ring upon her finger. His kisses stirred her loving heart. She awakens, and our story really starts. This is not so easy to condense, but let's try one more time to commence. The gold was stolen, then stolen again, first by Albric, a diminutive man. But when Albric stole it, he had announced, in order to keep it, love he renounced. Then Wotan used the gold like it was almighty dollar to pay for a brand new palace, Valhalla. It was paid to the builder, Fafnir the giant, but their deal fell through because they were non-compliant. Now Wotan's enraged, and so he burns. He's totally obsessed with the ring's return. So then he decides on a brand new plan. Such a narcissistic god, gonna do it because he can. He decides he'll produce his very own hero. His morality in this is just about zero. He fathers twins, then makes this new kin fall in love with each other, all wrapped in sin. It's like having a twisted mirror view, only loving those in life who look just like you. They have a son whose only purpose for existence is to get the ring for Wotan. Oh, what persistence. So he grew his own hero, that incestuous king. Yes, Siegfried was born just to get him that ring. Sometimes generations are really trapped in wickedness inherited from way back when. Now I told Wotan, like I always portend, the rule of the gods is coming to an end. Now Siegfried didn't seem to care thereof, that the ring is cursed till it's back where it belongs. He heads for Brunhilde in a state of bliss, and Brunhilde wakes up with Siegfried's kiss. Then he gives my daughter the magic ring. She should return it to the Rhine maidens, do the right thing. Her sister Valtrauta runs in and cries, "Our father is dying right before our eyes. He's laying around waiting for his own demise because the ring is cursed," he's come to realize. But Brunhilde girl refuses to change her mind. "No, I'm keeping it, sister. The ring is just fine. Yes, my daughter Valtrauta, she looks agape, but our father Wotan is in very bad shape." So Alberic, remember back, from whom the ring was first bejacked. Now Alberic, he wants a son, but long ago he renounced all love. So he figures out how to keep it real and makes a straight up business deal, a barter that cannot be beat with, shall I say, a lady of the street. So of this loveless union, Hagen is born, and from his birth was vengeance sworn. He carries all of the ancestral hate born of his father's wicked DNA. For so many times in blood relations, hatred runs through generations. So full of rage this man-child be, he grew up with the constant dream to take the ring and bring it back to father, who has felt the lack of power with the lack of ring. Give it back, and it will bring dominion, force, and might, you see, and rule for all eternity. He wants the ring for his selfish dreams to give to his father and all that means. So Hagen now, he plots to take the ring from Siegfried and thus make the world before him take a bow to be in control, and this is how. His father, Albrecht, comes in a dream to make sure Hagen's still on his team. Sometimes when folks are big and bad, behind their masks, it's sometimes sad that they've just been followers, you see, or run by potions and puppet strings. And generations follow their lead, inherit hatred, venom, and rotten deeds, passing down legacies of violence and greed. But how did all this come to be? So back it up, I have to explain. There's more backstory to this love and pain. So Siegfried left Brunhilde. He got a good start. She gave him well wishes, bless her heart, gave him some of her powers and her trusty steed, served him some bravery and courage tea. So Siegfried goes off to another land, and that's where he finds the Gibichungs clan. The Gibichungs are rather banal and bougie, but Siegfried now isn't really choosy. So the Gibichung's father was on the throne, but the family's weak now that the kids are grown. Back in the day, they used to be royal, but now they need to find new blood that's loyal. There's a brother and sister, Gunther and Gutruna. They're twins, you see, numbers 1 and 2. And Hagen is there, he's their half-brother too, along with many more from the Gibichung's crew. But anyway you see, this Gibichung's clan lives down at the river, not raising much sand. They're a bunch of kin who, the truth be told, inside them all, they have no real soul. Their whole atmosphere is rather superficial, but Hagen thinks they'll be very beneficial. They're worried that to hold on to their rule, the twins must marry or they won't be cool. So Hagen gets Gunther to go all in, to want Brunhilde so his sister can win Siegfried the warrior for herself. But Gutruna's gonna need a whole lot of help. She and Hagen get together and they concoct a potion making Siegfried forget that rock where Brunhilde still lies and awaits his return to get the embrace that will make them both burn. Brunhilde, remember, back in this tale, is in a ring of fire behind the veil. She's still on a rock awaiting a kiss from the one bad enough to bring her real bliss. Now Gunther knows that it's not him, that only Siegfried is brave enough to act on that whim. So Gutruna is slick and gives Siegfried a drink to make sure that he doesn't quite clearly think. They have it all planned that she can open his nose. Then she can be the new woman getting chose and wipe Brunhilde from his mind, leaving my dear daughter's love behind. Hook Siegfried up with Gunther's twin? Oh yes, there's something else again. Then Gunther can make Brunhilde his mate, and the Gibichung family can again be great. Or rather, make the Gibichungs great again is another way to say it. Get it, my friends? So now his sister is in the game. Gutruna, his twin, now you know that's a shame. She's in it to win it, and she offers the potion. Siegfried takes a drink, and it shifts his emotion. With every sip of this magical grog, it's one more hit of the hair of that dog. Then his mind was truly changed thereof. He forgets about Brunhilde, his long-time love. So now all four are prepared to switch, do a crisscross hookup with nary a glitch. So Siegfried's now with Gunther's sister, and Gunther gonna be Brunhilde's new mister. So now they're all quadrangulated. As you can see, it's complicated. So Siegfried has forgotten that he loves his lady and offers her to Gunther. It is really shady. They surely act like they've been cursed. Then to make things really worse, Siegfried takes Gunther to the rock of fire where Brunhilde lies like on a pyre. So Gunther can meet his new romance, who Siegfried can't remember since he's in a trance. But he's the only one who can pierce the flames. He goes with Gunther, who takes on his name. So you know she's surprised when she awoke. She thinks it's Siegfried, but it's Gunther who spoke. Siegfried was pretending to be his friend so Gunther can get with her in the end. He pretended that he was the other man and got the butter from the duck. What a terrible scam. And as it sinks in, this evil thing, Siegfried as Gunther takes off with the ring. So what can I say? This is a real hot mess. All this chaos and confusion, but I digress. Gunther forces himself with lies and guile, and now they're all walking down the aisle. So Gunther's now with Brunhilde, his bride, and Siegfried with Gudrun, now his new supply. And just like a scene out of Modern Bride, this crazy quartet makes it down the aisle. All four of them, but wait, Brunhilde sees that Siegfried is looking happy as can be. She looks at Gertrude's husband-to-be and thinks, why are you acting like you don't know me? Now Brunhilde looks down and sees the gold ring on Siegfried's finger. Now how could that be? It was Gunther, she thought, took it from her hand when he came to her like a long-lost man. But suddenly she has it all figured out, and just seeing that ring erased all doubt. She knows it was Siegfried who came to abuse. She looks over at him and thinks, it was you. But he's still drugged and out of his mind. He doesn't know what's happening, but she's not blind. She can clearly see that she's been had. But Siegfried denies it because he's half mad. He looks around at the other three and turns around and gets ready to leave. He swears on a spear he has done no wrong, tells the wedding parties just keep moving along. He looks at Brunhilde, it was time to blow, tells Gunther and Gertrude, come on, let's go. But Brunhilde is mad and feeling really betrayed. It's time for revenge because she got played. Now Hagen is also on the scene, the mixologist who helped make Siegfried's drink. He talks to Brunhilde, an offer he extends, though it's obvious, see, that he's playing both ends. He asks Brunhilde if she needs his assistance, because revenge can involve a whole lot of resistance. He pretends to be with her and on her side, asks if he can kill Siegfried and protect her pride. But she hesitates with a bit of alarm. She had covered Siegfried to keep him from harm, but there's something else that she did feign. She thought there's no way he could really be slain. He'd never turned his back on an old enemy, opened himself up to moral treachery. So sad to say, she made a magic potion, but a spot she missed with her fateful potion. So she never actually conjured a whole magic spell because she thought that all would go well. But when Siegfried turned his back to Hagen's sword, all I can say is, oh my Lord. Let's go back to the river where this all began. The Rhine maiden's gold stolen, then stolen again. This is Siegfried's last chance to give back the ring, but of course you know he doesn't listen to a thing. His demise was foretold by his own hard head. I knew it would happen. He might end up dead. So Siegfried is dead. Siegfried is dead. Brunhilde takes the ring and let it be said. She now understood her father's late desire to be rid of the curse through the heat of fire. Most say this story just makes no sense, but I'm here to tell you in the present tense that we all have had our own taste of this, that fire-hot madness of just a kiss. And we can see today disarray and strife, killing and conflict as a way of life, and the darkness and plague that's upon our days, and the violence that rules, and the chaos that reigns. There are warring souls and so much arrogance, conflict and killing and great pestilence. To pandemic and plague the world has succumbed. The end of days, it now has come. Jealousy, envy, and skies fire red, and discarding and lying and defiling the bed, and courting, then ghosting and bold-faced lies, and bragging and boasting and making hearts cry. And always there are those who dwell inside their own fiery burning hell. They cope with circumstances dire, living in their own ring of fire, waiting for their sweet release that they may be restored some peace. My remarkable daughter stepped up to let go. To evil power, she just said no. Brunhilde saw through the lies and greed, the narcissism and deceitful bad seeds. She turned her back on the power game, said yes to love and love without shame. Brunhilde was a seeker of love and truth, a super empath. She saw right through that gaslit gibberish. She was being duped, those tricks and games played on her too. The gods of greed and hatred now must fall. To the end of those gods will free us all. To rise from the ashes of Phoenix must burn, unlock all the many lessons to learn. So she ignites the flame on her father's pyre. Come on, baby, light that fire. Brunhilde rides off into the Death Valley on a trusty stallion like Mustang Sally. The Rhine maidens grabbed the ring of gold, returned it to the waters deep and cold. The river overflows, the sky turns a red hue, and soon, my friends, Hagen is dead too. The fire reached Valhalla's walls, engulfed the gods, Wotan and all. So here's the lesson as we speak. Although our heroine may seem weak, just lying on a rock in a ring of fire, waiting for her love who'd become a liar. But stillness sometimes hides the steel of gathering strength, of quiet zeal, of rest before a major fight, of prayer before a grueling night. And here today are hallowed halls that must come down. 'Tis time to fall, constructed of a filthy sod of hate and greed, those lesser gods. It's time to see them all be gone, their twilights giving way to dawn. And generations bound in trust be loosed and freed and lifted thus. The twilight of old gods is soon, the time of Gutta Damaru. That's it. Whew. That's a long read. I don't know how I wrote all that mess.